What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Coach Magali. If this is your first video of mine, if you are new on this channel, we talk all about building healthy habits, losing weight, building muscle, learning your way through the gym with a very simple and no BS approach. So if you're into that type of content, then do subscribe down below so that you don't miss my future videos. Like the video to let myself and the YouTube algorithm know that you guys enjoy content like this. And without further ado, let's get into 5 lies you were told about fitness that are just not true. First lie you were told is that you need to be in the gym as many days as possible, if possible, daily. So here's the thing, you need to rest. Rest and recovery is just as important as going hard in the gym. You have to have both. And what I mean is you don't have to be lifting weights, intensely working out 7 days a week. And in fact, you should not, because that doesn't give your body the appropriate time to rest and recover. Even if you're training a different body part, if you don't have a full day where you do nothing, you're always going to be playing catch up with recovery. So if you're doing a bro split where you do one body part per day, or you're doing an upper lower, make sure there is at least 1 day of active rest, meaning you don't do anything high intensity. There is nothing wrong with going on walks, going for a hike, doing something a little bit more moderate, but you should not be in the gym training hard, tearing down your muscles, accumulating all this fatigue without any rest days throughout the week. It is a recipe for disaster. You're going to get hurt. At worst and at best, you're not going to really see the amount of progress that you could be making if you scaled it back a bit and gave yourself that day of rest. However, I do recommend that you are active every day, meaning you are hitting your 7,000 to 10,000 steps a day. You can do some light cardio, but every day should not be an intense workout session, whether that be lifting weights or training cardio. There should be 1 day where you do nothing intense and most of the time is spent doing active recovery. You need the rest. Your muscles, your body, your mind, everything needs rest. Just like we need to sleep for our overall health and function, you need to recover from your workouts. Training every single day, high intensity, is not going to get you further ahead towards your goals. In fact, it's going to get you further away. So take the rest day. I know for some of you that's difficult, including me, but I've learned as the years went on that it's helped me tremendously get stronger, get better, and there's no point in trying to do more stuff if over time it's just gonna hurt me. Take the rest day. Another fitness myth that needs to die, another lie, is if you're not sore after your workouts every time, it means you didn't work out hard enough. So many people put so much emphasis on whether or not they're sore, where soreness is simply this: your body did something it was not used to. It is not something automatically good, and it is not something automatically bad. You can be sore if you did something completely new. You can be sore if you did something with absolute shit form. You can be sore because you pushed really hard. There are many reasons why your body would respond that way and why it would be sore. It's not always because you had a quality workout. And in fact, if you're always incredibly sore and like painfully sore, then that means you're not training correctly. A more moderate approach where you may feel a little bit of a pain here or there for 2 days after, and then it kind of subsides. If you're super sore all the time, that's going to prevent you from training hard. Your next session, it's going to delay the amount of time between your training sessions, meaning you're going to have to work out less throughout the week, meaning you're not going to have as much stimulus on the muscle. If you're sore, that's fine. If you're not sore, that's also fine. That's not an indicator of progress. Indicators of progress are progressively overloading, and are you getting better with your form? Are you getting stronger? Are you getting more confident? Those are the things that matter, not how sore you are. People chase the soreness, and if they don't have it, they feel discouraged and like they're not doing it right. And they train extra hard the next day, they get really, really sore, then they're out of the gym for a week, and then that just puts you further and further ahead. So try not to focus too much on soreness. Again, it's not a bad thing, it's not a good thing. I know I enjoy being sore. I'm not saying that you shouldn't ever be sore. In fact, if you're never, ever sore after a workout, it's probably safe to assume you're not really trying that hard. But again, you're not trying to go for, I can't move, I can't put my arms above my head, every single time. Like, that's a little bit too excessive. You want to be able to recover pretty quickly so that, again, you can go back to the gym the following session and absolutely kill it and not be held back because your body is still recovering. It's hard to give you a really concrete way to measure intensity, but just know your soreness should go away 2 to 3 days after your training session. If you never experience it, you're probably not training hard enough. And if you're experiencing it more often, or it's lasting a lot longer than that, you might be pushing it too hard, and it doesn't always mean it's a good thing. You might be hurting yourself, you might be doing something wrong. It's just being that sore for a long period of time is not good for you. So no, soreness does not matter, and it is not an indicator of a quality workout. It is a byproduct. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it won't, but it is not what determines whether or not you did good. The next one that drives me crazy and people still believe is that you have to change your entire workout routine and your entire training protocol, whether you're losing or gaining weight. So most of the time people believe that if you want to lose weight, then that means you have to transition to higher reps, lower weight, more endurance type of lifting. And then if you're trying to build strength, build power, build muscle, it's better to lift a bunch of weight with less reps and more of the intensity. The problem with this is what got you the muscle in the first place is going to keep the muscle. So building muscle is usually best when we're a little bit on the heavier side, more on the moderate reps, low to moderate, and we're taking a lot of rest time. That's what builds muscle. That is what gets us stronger. That is what gets us to progress. If you suddenly shift, because now you're losing weight, into higher reps, a lot less weight, the intensity drops, you're just going for sweating sensation, you might lose some of that muscle because that stimulus that got it there is not there anymore. And when we're in a deficit, when we're losing weight, our body is going to let go of weight, whether it's fat or muscle. And obviously when you're in a dieting phase, you want to keep that muscle that you built. You don't want to just lose it. Whatever it is that you're doing, bulking, cutting, or maintaining, the two main things that you have to worry about manipulating and changing around are your diet, meaning how many calories you're intaking. If you're cutting, you're going to have to drop it. If you're maintaining, you're going to if you're in the maintenance phase, you're going to keep it about the same. If you're trying to bulk and gain some weight, then obviously that means you're going to go up. And then cardio. If you're trying to cut, lose some weight, a little bit of extra cardio is likely a very good idea. And if you're trying to bulk and gain size and store as much of that energy from the diet, you want to cut back on cardio maybe a little bit. But those are the two things that can change around throughout those seasons as you change goals. But your training routine, what it takes to build muscle, should stay relatively the same. There really is no need to be changing things up around. Now, if you want to because of personal preference or you like it that way, that's fine. It's been shown in research that if your sets are taking to the appropriate intensity, meaning you're basically about to die at the end of it, meaning your muscles are screaming for help and you're going very slow at the end of your set, it's been shown that the same amount of muscle can be built if you do high reps, lower weight, or higher weight, lower reps. But the cool thing about lower reps and higher weight is that you recover better from that. There's less fatigue that comes with it. It also helps build strength. So I personally like to stick more on that side when it comes to building muscle. And even if I am in a fat loss stage or I'm coaching a client through a fat loss stage, I don't start shifting all the way over to the higher reps, lower weight side. I just don't do that. And I'm not saying to never use that rep range. I'm just saying don't switch your entire workout routine to shift in that direction, because that risks losing some of that muscle and strength that you've built. And it's not even going to help you get more gain. It's not going to help you lose more weight. It's not going to give you any different result than if you stuck to the same routine and just manipulated your diet and your cardio. Those are the two main ones that matter when it comes to changing weight, not really your training sessions. You want to keep that relatively the same, whether your goal is to lose weight, maintain, or build. The next one that I want to discuss is the more you do in the gym, the better. The more sets, the more reps, the more stuff, the more exercises, the longer you're there, the more effective your workout routine is. And that could not be further from the truth. The more stuff that you do, by default, because we're not unlimited sources of energy, the quality of the things that you do is going to drop. If you do 20 things, 15 things, 10 things, each of those are going to be slightly less quality than if you did 5 to 6. And that's really what you need to be doing for each training session. 5, maybe 6, sometimes 8, depending on what it is that you're training. But above that, your quality is going to suffer. So instead of focusing on doing as much as I possibly can and potentially hurting your gains, most likely hurting your gains, choose 5 to 6, maybe 8 exercises that you do in one session and make them intense. For example, if you're doing a 10 plus exercise session and one of your exercises is 3 sets of 20 at 10 pounds, what if you did 2 sets of 6 at 50 pounds? those 2 sets would absolutely kill you and would provide better results than doing a bunch more sets and reps with a lower weight, and not to mention that it wastes a lot more time. So no, it's not about the more that you do, it's about the quality and how good your sets are, how close to failure you are taking those sets, how intensely you're pushing yourself when you're lifting that weight. It's not about quantity. So if you're in the gym for 2 hours plus and you're like, I'm not seeing results, check your exercise list. If you're doing like 10 plus things or doing way too many reps, way too many sets, how can you condense it and have a higher quality workout in less amount of time? That's going to give you, again, superior results than doing a bunch of stuff and being there for hours with no real true intensity. Because let's be honest, if you really were pushing intensely, very few people could survive past the hour and a half. Your form would start to degrade. You would have to lower the weights. You would have to sacrifice form. Like, you wouldn't be able to keep that up if your intensity was where it needed to be. So if you're not already, crashing and fatiguing by the hour, it's probably safe to assume that you're missing out on some intensity that is hurting you. The more that you do does not automatically mean the more progress you're going to make. And sometimes it means the complete opposite. So do less with higher quality, skip the doing more with less quality. And lastly, the one that has prevailed the lifting community, that cardio is going to kill your gains. No, it's not. Obviously, guys, if we're talking about a marathon runner running 10 miles a day, 20 miles a day, 30 miles a day, I don't know who would do that in the right mind, but there are people out there who do that. If they are training with that kind of intensity when it comes to cardio, we can safely assume that yes, those types of people would not be able to retain as much muscle as somebody who was running maybe 2 miles a day. But if you're running moderate amounts or doing moderate amounts of cardio, 20-30 minute sessions a couple times a week, you're going to be fine. And in fact, doing cardio is so good for your health. It is so good for your recovery. It is just going to make your heart happy. The endorphins it releases. I mean, there are so many benefits to it that don't have anything to do with building muscle, but cardio is really good for you, and it should be something that everybody should be doing to some extent. There are, of course, going to be people who need to do it more, need to do it less, need to do it a moderate amount, but I can't think of a single situation where I would say, yeah, doing no cardio is a good idea. Like, that doesn't exist. I don't care if you're a hardcore power lifter or you're not really interested in cardio gains, you don't want to lose weight, it doesn't matter. Cardio is good for you and everybody should do it. And the fact that people still believe that it's going to kill your gains, again, if you're doing it an exorbitant amount, yes, potentially, but most people aren't doing that. They're just trying to find an excuse to get out of doing cardio because it sucks. I know it sucks. We all got to do it though. Just like eating vegetables, okay? A couple 20 to 30 minute sessions, a couple times a week, moderate intensity, whatever kind of cardio you enjoy works just fine. That's the beauty of cardio, because you don't really, unless you're training for something specific, you can really do anything, any type of cardio, and it's gonna be fine. My personal favorites are the stepper, the stairmaster, the elliptical, and just plain old walking uphill are my favorite ways to do it. But yes, everybody should be doing cardio. No, it is not gonna get rid of your gains. No, it is not gonna impede in your muscle recovery. No, it's not going to stop you from growing muscle. At least once or twice a week for 20 to 30 minutes, ideally between 2 and 3, but even once is going to be more than nothing, and everybody should be including at least some type of endurance aerobic activity in their routines. So that's all the lies that I have for you, although I have many more. So if you guys want to see more videos like this, let me know in the comments below. If you have any questions or concerns, I'd be more than happy to answer those in the comments. Again, as a reminder, do not forget to subscribe for more content like this so that you don't miss any of my future uploads. Like the video to let me know you enjoyed it. And then if you know anybody who needs to hear this, please feel free to share this video with them, and hopefully it's able to help them or enlighten them in some way as well. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you guys for being here, and I will see you in the next one. Peace out.